Hey folks, Moses Woodson here from my High Desert Homestead. Not as windy today. We've been running and gunning. We been taking care of the livestock this morning, working with the horses, doing all that. I was just fixing to head to town. I've got to go do some maintenance on a property. You guys will probably recognize it when I get over there. We kept the horses over there this last year, and we got to go do some maintenance, do some weed spraying, stuff like that for some friends of ours that own the property. And I was going to hook up to the water trailer and found out that it has a major issue. So I'm going to have to do some maintenance on that before I go do some general maintenance on their property. So I've got to get everything loaded up I need and then go crawl under this this trailer. Okay, I got the trailer pulled up here where we do a lot of our maintenance. If you don't have concrete slab, you can throw down a carpet here on this sand. It kind of helps, but it's still a little sandy. It's definitely better than being over there in the sand and getting sand all down your back and everything. So these roads out here, they're pretty rough and things rattle loose, that's for sure. So right here's our issue. It's like this on both sides. These roads just rattle stuff loose. These are actually silicone nuts, so they shouldn't be this way, but they are, so I'm gonna have to tighten these up. It's just a wonder, as loose as these things are, that we haven't lost an axle. So I'm gonna get the wrench, I believe that's a 3/4 inch, get it on there and get these things tightened up so we can get on down the road. So maintenance is a thing that you have to be doing all the time. And if you don't own equipment or don't own trailers or livestock, fences, stuff like that, then it doesn't really bother you. But every day we feed, it's not just putting feed and hay out to animals or water. It's working on fences. It's patching stuff where they have decided it would be better to be a different way than the way you had it. Horses are probably the worst. They move feeders around and salt blocks around, and tubs around, push fences around. Sheep are not as bad. Cows can be kind of bad. You know, one thing I always tell new homesteaders is be ready for maintenance. You've always got to do maintenance. You know, when you're building a homestead, I've said this many a time, you're going to spend probably 50-60% of your time building it, what free time you have, when you're not trying to make money. And the other 40 to 50% maintaining what you've already developed. And that's just the way it is. I'm glad I found this before we had a real tragedy and wrecked the trailer. All right. Proper tools are a must. If you're gonna farm, ranch, homestead, whatever you want to call it, having some good quality tools are important. I've got tons of tools. I've got 3 boxes full of tools, and I buy more tools all the time. Every chance I get, especially specialty tools that I may only need once or twice a year, because having them makes my life a whole lot easier, particularly the older I get. I don't mind spending a little bit of extra money if it helps my back. This little bunch of tools right here that I got, I actually picked these up at Sam's Club. This little kit was $89, and I probably use it more than any other tool kit that I have. Now, I've got tools that my grandpa gave me, that my dad gave me. Some of them I've had since I was a kid. I've got a toolbox full of them, and when I need them, they're there. I've got some tools in there I hardly ever use, but when I need them, I need them. So investing in a good set of quality tools will save you a lot of time and a lot of energy. All right, I finally made it out here. Ran into a fella I knew there at the little restaurant, and we sat and talked for a little while. It's always good to take time with people and just talk to them and just take time. That's the biggest thing. There's too many folks in this world just in a big hurry, and we get done what we get done, and if that means we end up talking for 2 hours to somebody, hopefully we did each other some good. So I'm out here now, and what I'm going to do, I've got to tighten a few wires, and I'm going to be spraying this driveway. We bush hogged this place last fall, and we're going to be doing a few things. We're going to be putting in stays in the fence, and there's a few wires that's loose. I don't know if maybe antelope run through them or whatever, deer's jumping them, but we want to tighten them up. And we're going to be seeding the back, and I'm kind of waiting until we get some days that are not so windy. So one of the products I'm going to be using is these clips. I don't know if you guys have seen these on social media. Probably not if you don't follow fencing stuff. I get a lot of advertisements, but dropped it. Go. These are clips that you put in the fence, and you can tighten with this tool right here. So I'm going to try and demonstrate how these work. So this bottom, a couple of these are loose, and I want to take and believe it goes like so. Oh, not my best attempt, I guess. Go. There we go. If you need to tighten it up a little more, you just take it. That didn't work too good. Huh. Didn't work as good as I thought it was going to. Let's try it again. So this should take it. There we go. I tightened it up somewhat. I'm gonna try another one of these. Like I say, I wasn't too impressed with the last one, that's for sure. It did tighten it up somewhat, but I don't think you're supposed to use it on really stiff wire. It's just twisting it. So I'm gonna try to tighten up a few of these and see if we can't get some stays in here. Another way you can kind of tighten up fence is by going to the side of the post and on wood post and driving a staple, and that will pull that wire in a little bit. Now, this is some pretty stiff wire, but it is kind of pulling it in. I think I'll tighten these up with a couple more staples and those clips. I'm not a big fan of them. I thought they would work better than they do. I thought that perhaps maybe they were a little bit stiffer, but doesn't seem to be the case. Okay, I wouldn't recommend these. I actually had these on my wish list. Some friends of ours got them for us. They do work, but not as impressively as they show on their advertisements. With really stiff wire, it didn't do a whole lot, and some of them just popped off as you seen. So I'm not real impressed with these. There may be better brands out these. These are Gold Oracle. Like I say, it works to some extent, but you couldn't get 2 cranks out of it on this wire. You're not going to get your wire super tight. So just a staple. If you got wood posts and a hammer, staple around the sides, it's going to tighten up your fence. And then your other option is taking the fence loose and re-stretching it. I have in the past, particularly on really long stretches that, you know, the wind's blowing on, that sort of thing, I have put ratchet straps on the ends so that I could take the fence loose from the posts, put a couple cranks on it, put it back on there, put it back, attach it back to the posts. But these here, not a real big fan of. I will use them. There's a couple places up here that I'm probably going to have to use them. There's a couple places where the wire's on the ground. Not sure what happened there, but we'll reattach it. I'm going to go down through here, down this way, put stays in, and then I'm going to spray this front area. There's a lot of weeds that's growed up here in 1 year, and they wanted me to spray this. So I'm going to pull the truck on in after I get these stays up, spray this whole front area, then spray the driveway, and they've got an RV pad up here. I'm going to spray it as well. All right, folks, got this all tight and got the stays in. Sorry about the wind. It's just the time of year we got here. But all these stays are in. Fence is all tight. Now I can start spraying this driveway, and may put in some more stays today, may not. Just depends on what I can get done. I got to get back to the house before dark, get everything fed. Whew, I'm about tuckered out. I walked this whole entire driveway and RV pad 3 times spraying. Went back and sprayed some of the more heavier spots that have grass and brush in them. And I think I'm gonna call it a day. It's getting late in the day. I am 2 hours from home. I've got to take and stop and get water to take home. And I've about had it. So I'm gonna just call it a day. If you don't know which way to go, remember, commit your ways unto the Lord, submit also unto him, and he'll bring it to pass. We'll see you later.